What is up, everybody? It is Tesh. Welcome to Wine Talk with Tesh. I appreciate you guys in more ways than one. Thank you guys for tuning into the show and for showing it all the support. But to all of you who have not only bought the wines, who have purchased any kind of wine from Wine with Tesh, thank you sincerely. Like, you guys, I'm blown away at the amount of support that I'm getting with the new business. It's a little bit terrifying. Not gonna lie, but it's been also incredibly rewarding knowing how many of you guys are out there trying to support me. So I appreciate all of the love. Thank you so much. People who are watching on Instagram, I've already told this to. For those of you who are tuning in on Facebook and on YouTube, pour yourself a glass of the Perlage Prosecco. We're gonna get into it. Before we get into it, go ahead and start drinking. Enjoy yourselves. Couple of shout outs. Pretty much I really just got to give a shout out to Jordan, because Jordan again is the man behind the scenes.
Hey guys,
always making this dope. He's always making it even more dope than what I could make it on myself. Also, he runs his own show called Home Bar Pro, so check him out. Jordan, what platforms are you on again?
I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Homebar Pro, or the Homebar Pro on Facebook. But yeah, at Homebar Pro.
Check him out, guys. He makes delicious cocktails, and obviously he's a great dude. So we want to show him some love too. All right. And that being said, Fluid Concepts, because that's what Fluid Concepts he's a part of. So shout out to everybody for all the love. Perlage Prosecco. If you guys have the wine, Jordan's going to throw up the map of Italy here. We're in northeastern Italy, within a very specific region called Veneto. More specifically, within another region called Treviso, and then to pinpoint it, we're in a region called Valdo Biaden Prosecco DOCG. And from this region, we get Prosecco. It's made from 100% glera. There's a lot of clay and limestone soil. And this particular producer, I'm a fan of. I used to carry a different version of their wines at the kitchen. So when I was introduced to the Canah Prosecco by them, I was very excited to not only try it, but I was also excited that it was really, really good. So this winery, they're fairly young compared to like a lot of the wineries that like that we generally talk about. I mean, it's only been around since 1985. It was founded by they're known as the Nardi brothers. That's their family name, Nardi, and there's 7 of them. I don't know about y'all, but I could not imagine starting a business with any of my siblings. I love y'all, Kavita, Neelam. I know y'all watching. I love you guys. I could never imagine starting a business with that, with a couple of my siblings, one of my, let alone 7 of them. 7 of them decided that they were going to get together and do this thing, and they did. And they've been farming organically since the beginning. That's their shtick, right? They're one of the first Italian wineries to be organically certified and have been doing it that way since 1985. So So yeah, Prosecco. For those of you guys who are not familiar, Prosecco is not made from the Prosecco grape. Prosecco is made from a grape called Glera. This particular Prosecco is 100% Glera. They do allow a little bit of wiggle room in that region for this particular wine. Like they will let you use it has to have a minimum of 85% Glera, and then you can use a little bit of a couple of other varietals that can be blended into it. But this particular one, they just like, no, this is what we made. It's made in a method called the Charmat method, which is also known as the tank method. So it's not made like traditional sparkling or traditional champagne, I should say. This is made, what they do is they take the Charmat method, what it is, I'm going to explain it. What it is they take the base wine, right? They add sugar and yeast, and then they move that into a pressure-resistant tank where fermentation occurs, right? And then it goes into a pressure-resistant filter where they take out all the sediment, and then it goes into dosage. And dosage is just the addition of sugar and must into the sparkling wine to get like the final sugar level that they want. So this particular one, I'm going to talk about Italian wine specifically, okay? When you're talking about brut and extra dry and dry, it can be really confusing because the words don't really mean what you think they might mean, right? They can be kind of misleading, if you will, right? So brut, we all kind of associate that with dry. In this case, that's technically true. But brut is a range for Prosecco. So 0 to 12 grams per liter can be classified as brut, right? You take it up a level from 12 to 17 grams, 12 to 17 grams per liter, it can be classified as extra dry. So your bottle can say extra dry. Then making it more confusing, dry, just dry, is 17 to 32 grams of residual sugar. So extra dry in our heads, you would think that that would mean more sweet if you follow the way they've kind of laid it out. But in fact, extra dry is drier than dry. Good luck keeping up with that one. This particular Prosecco comes in at 10 grams per liter. That's the final dosage. So it's still in the quote unquote dry range. There's a perceivable hint of sweetness, very, very subtle, right? I mean, I would still call it dry, but it is Prosecco. And if you're ever wondering how you can tell, like, I mean, you can tell from, if you look real close at the bubbles in your glass, you can tell immediately that this is not made in a traditional way because the bubbles are just much softer. And they tend to kind of like spread around the glass as opposed to picking a few spots where like it fizzes up, right? So you can usually tell Prosecco just by looking at the glass. There was a great scene, I want to say it was in one of the documentary. No, it was in like the TV show called Uncorked. And this dude was going through the court, maybe it was, I can't remember. This dude was going through the process of getting his master certification, and they poured a Prosecco and they poured a champagne for him. And he looked at it side by side and he was like, that one's the Prosecco. And they were just so blown away that he could tell from looking at it, but you can tell the bubbles fizz differently. So moving on the nose of this particular wine, I pick up a lot of citrus, pear, and like a real floral component like white jasmine. And then when you move on to the palate, those bubbles have a really nice creamy texture. A lot of green apple on the palate, maybe a hint of lemon. That pear is there, but green apple and lemon seem to be like the sparkling, the standout tasting notes for this particular wine. For those of you who made the mushroom risotto, no other reason than other than risotto goes in really, really well with Prosecco. So I actually made myself mushroom risotto, which I normally don't do because I have children and managing everything on top of doing the show tends to be really difficult. But I did it today, so I'm going to try it with you guys. If you guys made the mushroom risotto and you're having the Prosecco at home, try it together. Let me know what you guys think.
I do have a quick question here. Someone in the chat's asking what if you recommend any specific glassware to drink Prosecco out of.
A traditional champagne flute is probably a good call. I am using my glassware. This is called a Zalto. That's bougie for expensive fucking glassware. I didn't buy these; they were gifted to me. So I like to use a bigger bulby glass for my sparkling wines. But Prosecco is probably the one where I would actually prefer to use a more traditional flute. The bubbles are so soft, you kind of need to contain them. Whereas with like a traditionally made champagne, where the bubbles are going to be a little bit more potent or perceivable to you, something like this would actually help kind of open up that wine a little bit more. So yeah, probably a traditional champagne flute for the Prosecco. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like it together? Do you hate it? Do you love it? What's going on?
Let's see. Eating it with Ruffles chips. It's also a good pairing,
Chips.
I think.
Is that Mallory? I guess a better question would be, what Ruffles chips? And is it pairing well? Because that's a good question. And those are my favorite pairings, by the way, the ones that are like not bougie at all. Like you guys know, like one of my favorite things is like pepperoni pizza and a glass of Cabernet. I don't think it gets much better than that. So, but Ruffles, that's a good one. Jordan, just let me know whenever they chime in. All right, so I hope you guys like that Prosecco as much as I do. I think it's absolutely stunning. If you guys finish your bottle tonight, you can scan that QR code on your bottle and it'll shoot you right back to the website where you can pick up more. Or if you like have an extra bottle of it and you are down the road and you're like, I don't remember what to pair this with, you can always, that's QR code will always be there. You can always just scan it and it'll tell you exactly what I think you should pair it with. Speaking of which, I don't know if I touched on this. We're having risotto tonight. But this Prosecco, I mean, like fish, shellfish, any of those would be great choices for this wine. Especially like all that green apple, the creamy texture of the bubbles. I think it would lend itself incredibly well to that. So for those of you who have the second wine, and I think many of you do, go ahead and pour yourself a glass. We're going to get into the Domaine de hautes Troglodytes. A lot of you guys kind of are like, I think that this is one of those wines that like people might look on or look at on my website and kind of think to themselves, like, I have no damn clue what that is. And as a result, they might shy away from it because it doesn't really tell you what grape it is or anything, right? This is one of those very European wines where it tells you the region that it's from and they just kind of expect you to know. So what region it's from? We're in France, we're in the Loire Valley. Specifically within the Loire Valley, we are in a region called Sommer-Champagny. And they make Cabernet Franc based wines. And this is a unique wine. because the family who owns it, or made it rather, the Clouseau family, they have roots going back in the wine world all the way back to like 1846. They've been doing wine a long time. They haven't always been growing wine. They were like wine merchants. They owned a winery prior. They've had their hands in this world for a long time. That being said, this is a unique wine. It's 100% Cabernet Franc. It spends 9 months in stainless steel, and it's biodynamically produced. Yes, everyone, this is witchcraft wine. I wish we had special effects for like a witch just. This is biodynamically produced, and they do. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, if you're not familiar, biodynamic production is unique. Some of the best producers in the world farm and practice biodynamic farming, and it can be a little weird. I won't get into it. It can be weird. It involves some unique things, but the end result is that the wines end up being really, really good. And what I love about this wine in particular, and I'm talking about it, but I'm not drinking it. What I love about this wine in particular is that Cab Franc, I think, is one of those varietals that people kind of like. I want to say people in general. I don't want to say like, because I know that like a couple of my wine geeks are watching. I say like a lot of people may like overlook it and just go straight to Cabernet Sauvignon, but Cabernet Franc is fucking delicious, guys. And you should give it a chance next time you run past it. And now that you know what Sommelier Champagny is, next time you see that, you'll be like, hey, yo, I've had that before. It's really, really good. And this is a good example of a wine that did not need to see any oak, but still really delivers in terms of quality and what you get and complexity of the wine. So,
Do have a couple of random comments here. Going back to the Ruffles question earlier, it's cheddar Ruffles. And then a question on top of that. What's your favorite bubbly? Prosecco, Cava, Champagne?
My favorite bubbly is champagne. I'm bougie as fuck. Like, yeah. And it's, yeah, champagne, definitely. Thank you, Jenna. Appreciate you watching too. Thanks for the love, dude. Yeah. So cheddar Ruffles, how did it pair? Now that's the next question I need to know the answer to. How did the cheddar Ruffles pair with the Prosecco? Because I feel like I might need to run back to the grocery store. I got a bag of munchies too. I don't know, we might see that if that works too. Anyways, this Domaine des Hautes Troglodytes. This wine to me has so much going on. Cherry, raspberry, cranberry, strawberry. But beyond that, it has this amazing, like earthy, like rustic quality to it, like forest floor, maybe a little bit of tobacco, and a hint of bell pepper. And for that reason, I love this wine. Now, I love Cabernet Sauvignon in general, but Cabernet Franc to me, I think is the wine that, again, we tend to overlook. We tend to kind of pass it by and go like, oh, I don't know. It's probably the more rustic version of the wine. And rightfully so. It's the parent grape of Cabernet Sauvignon. So one of the parent grapes. If you guys haven't had much experience with it, I hope you guys love this wine as much as I do. And I'm going to try it with the mushroom risotto. This is actually why I went with mushroom risotto specifically, because even though Cab Franc is going to be a little bit, has a tendency to be produced with some kind of oak regimen, this one was not. So it's not overtly tannic. You guys will notice like your mouth is not puckering up like it may with other Cab Francs. That's because, again, no oak. So it's all fruit and it's just beautiful Cabernet Franc. This is why I went with specifically a mushroom risotto, because risotto in general would go well with the Prosecco, but a mushroom component adds that earthiness to the dish. that I think would complement the summer champagne really, really well. So if you guys are having the pairing, I hope that you guys are enjoying it and that you guys are having a lovely dinner. And I'm going to try it real quick.
So some comments coming in. Let's see, from Nora. Okay, I'm not feeling this one. My California jammy taste buds are screaming.
Sometimes you got to keep an open mind, baby.
Comment from Marianne that this one tastes really Christmassy.
I could see that. And yeah, you are right. Like if you're a California wine lover at Nora, this wine is probably not your jam. It's not. But that is the point of doing this together, right? Is that we get to try some stuff that we haven't had before, and we can expand our horizons and be exposed to some wines that we wouldn't necessarily try otherwise. So I think it pairs incredibly well. Oddly enough, I think it pairs better with the Cab Franc than I thought it paired with the Prosecco. The Prosecco went really well with my salad that I had earlier on. But regardless, I hope you guys like the pairing and that it worked for you. So,
an answer to your question earlier about the ruffles and how did it pair with the Prosecco, they think the ruffles overpower it.
Yeah, I mean, cheddar ruffles are pretty damn potent. Like they have a strong flavor. But I'm proud of you for trying. That's good. It's good to be adventurous and try some stuff. Other things that the Cab Franc would pair really, really well with smoked meats, tomato-based dishes, right? It'd probably do really, really well with. I particularly love it with this mushroom risotto. I think it's really, really delicious. Another one of those wines that if you like, you probably like more. I don't want to say that. You have an appreciation for a little bit more of that rustic style. I'll say that. Because I don't want to like box in wine by saying something like, oh, you have a tendency to like French wines. That's just not true. But I will tell you guys this, okay? So when I tasted this summer champagne, the gentleman who brought it for me to taste, he brought 3 Cab Francs, and he put them in front of me, and he was like, I brought all 3. He was like, you can try them all, but this is the one that you're going to end up choosing. And he just grabbed this bottle of Troglodytes and put it in front of me. And I was like, okay, so let's just start with that one. And I tried it and I was like, yeah, that's going to be the one. So I tried a few other ones, and I tried a few other ones, and they were good. They were very fruit forward. They were much more Aunt Nora, as you would say it, much more Californian in style. It was much more fruit forward and much more bright. But this one for me, I think when I think of Cabernet Franc, this is exactly what I want Cabernet Franc to be. So yeah. I think my glass has a chill to it from the Prosecco. So here, let me try, because I think it doesn't. I will say this: it has a slight chill to it in that it actually came right out of my wine cellar. So it actually came out of a 58-degree cellar, and then I went straight to the glass. And normally I pull out the bottles a little bit sooner, but I was running late tonight because I was making dinner for a change. So yeah, there you go. You can kind of appreciate the color a little bit more. So it does have a slight chill to it. Which on that note, I've said this before, we have a tendency to drink our white wines too cold, which often I'll tell you guys like, hey, take out your white wines like an hour before we're going to drink them and let them come up. And that's if you put them in your refrigerator, because your refrigerator is going to make it slightly too chilled. I used to have people come into the kitchen and they would get like a bottle of Rumbauer, right? And I'm not knocking on Rumbauer because obviously people like that and that's your choice to drink whatever you like. but they would order a bottle of Rumbauer and then they put ice in their wine. And I would ask them, I was like, can I ask why you're adding ice to it? And they would say like, oh, like it just helps tone it down a little. And my response to that is just order a wine that's what you want. Like you don't have to order a wine and put ice on it and like water it down to make it to your liking. Just order something, order a light wine. But you know, to each their own. They liked it that way, and they paid whatever they paid to be at the kitchen and order their bottle of Rumbauer. But to the point, white wines, just let them come up a little bit. They don't have to be room temp. Put them in the fridge like an hour before you drink it. Take it out, let it come up just a hair, and then enjoy them. And they will shine much more, much more. Don't do that with your sparkling wine. Sparkling wine should be cold. Okay. And red wines, we often drink them a little too warm. So take them out of the wine cellar that you keep it in, and 60 to 70 degrees probably should be fine. So yeah. Anybody else? Does anybody like this wine? Because I've pretty much only heard one person say that they prefer something more fruity. So somebody validate me by letting me know how you are enjoying this wine.
Yeah, we do have a few people loving it. Interesting that the wine has a natural oakness. It's very pure.
That's all great, baby. That's all great.
Also, can you talk to us more about this forest floor flavor profile?
Yeah, have you never walked through the forest like on a hike and then reached down and grabbed a handful of mud and leaves and then put it in your mouth? All right, so that's kind of what I mean by forest floor. And I know it's kind of a weird descriptor, but have you ever been like on a hike and it like started to rain or something and like you really kind of like get that aroma? You can almost taste it. It's so strong because of the wet leaves and the wet soil underneath you. That's kind of what I mean by forest floor. It's like this earthy, this rustic, almost kind of mushroomy smell and taste. I hope that answers your question.
I have another comment that typically they really like, or they have to be in the right mood for a red, but this one is really delicious and doesn't taste so red, if that makes sense.
Beautiful. I like that. I'll take that. Who is that?
That was Ralph Bateman.
Oh, the Batemans. Batemans, by the way, the Batemans, when I first started doing the wine talks with Tesh, pre-winewithtesh.com, the whole conversation about biodynamically produced wines really kind of set it off into us calling them witchcraft wines. And that's an homage to the Batemans. Batemans, this is the wine that I hid on the website. And if you look at the tasting notes, scan the bottle right now. Look at the tasting notes and read it. That's your little shout out on the website. It literally says, yes, Batemans, this is witchcraft wine. So that was for you. So I'm glad to hear that you liked it and that you are loving it. For those of you who are not a huge fan of this wine, that's okay. A part of this is growth. A part of it is learning and experiencing. Because if we don't try a wide variety of wines, it won't help us to understand what we like and do not like. And I don't know how else to say this, but like sometimes it sounds kind of crazy, right? But like when there's a bad wine, like I made my staff taste it. And they would be like, why are you making us do this? And I'm like, you need to know what wine that has churned tastes like. So I made them all taste a wine that tasted like soy sauce. It had been aged too long. It was beyond its prime. And it literally smelled like vinegar and it tasted like soy sauce. And they were all really mad at me. But then they also understood that helped them grow. Don't worry, guys. I'm never going to send you wine that tastes like soy sauce and it's completely past its prime. But I do want you to understand that it's important to taste a wide variety of things. Just because the world of wine is so huge, and it's important to know. And just because you may not have liked this Cabernet Franc does not mean that you may not like a different Cabernet Franc. Because again, the styles that I tasted when I tasted this one just happened to appeal to me the most. So there are bright red, ripe, fruit-forward versions of this varietal that are out there. So yeah. Anybody doing the pairing? Anybody comment on like how the mushroom risotto is hitting with their Cab Franc?
Oh, Ralph is pairing goldfish crackers with the wine, not risotto.
How is the goldfish I fucking love you guys. How is your goldfish crackers pairing with your Cabernet Franc? You guys are my fucking people.
Lori's still cooking the risotto so far. So good.
Lori, take your time, girl. I know Alicia's always running late.
I do have a question actually. So how long would you age this wine?
I wouldn't age this wine. I would buy this wine and I would pop and drink it. It's meant to be consumed. I don't want to say like young, but like fairly young. I probably wouldn't age this wine. I think it's drinking beautifully right now. It doesn't have any kind of oak regimen that's going to lend itself to it being a wine that you want to lay down for a long time. I think that this particular wine, despite it being a big, bold grape that has a good amount of acidity, I don't think it's one that I would save for a rainy day. Enjoy this. Enjoy this on the regular. Enjoy this on a Tuesday night. Enjoy it because you just want to have something. You know what? I had yesterday. I had birria tacos, and I wish that I had opened this wine. I had finished eating, and then I was like, man, I should have opened that Sommer Champagne because I felt like that is a type of meat that would have done really, really well with this one. So keep hitting me with questions, guys. I'll stay live for a couple more minutes, and then we'll probably call it. I hope you guys love these wines. And if you didn't, that's okay. I have more stuff. What else do I need to tell you guys about? Oh, this is important. Okay, so if you guys are ever browsing the website, and this is kind of the point with a wine like this, right? If you guys are ever browsing the website and you're like, Tesh, I don't know what the half the stuff is. Dude, just shoot me a message. Shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'm pretty quick to respond. This is my livelihood now. So don't feel like you are invading my space, man. The more I can get out there, the more wine I can move is better for me, is better for my family. Reach out to me. Just ask me. It's okay. There's no wrong questions. We're all stupid just about different stuff, right? There's a lot of things that I don't know. I just happen to be a consumer of wine and beverages. So I really, really like drinking. So no secret for those of you who have ever hung out with me. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Oh, before I go, I'm sorry. The website is updated already. I'm trying to be on top of everything the day of the wine talk. The next wine talk will be on December 2nd. Okay, so 2 weeks from now. The website's already updated with the 2 wines that you are going to want to purchase. We're going to be doing Georgian wines. If you guys are not familiar, Georgia, as in the country, is considered to be the birthplace of wine. So I'm really excited. I got one of my buddies, Drew Garrison, who is hands down the sexiest beard in Sacramento. Okay. Sorry, Jordan, no offense, bro. I mean, have you seen his shit? It's glorious.
Oh yeah.
He's a great dude, and I'm looking forward to having him on the show. He's going to be our special guest. And we're going to talk about these Georgian wines. They both come from him. Many of you guys have already actually purchased this bottle. One of them is going to be the Rose Sarabi. and then the other one I just added today is I don't know how to pronounce it. Actually, Jenna, if you're still watching, is it pronounced Ricazzatelli or Rascatelli? I've heard different things. It's a Ricazzatelli Mitzvane is one wine. Yeah, say that 10 times fast. I know. And then the other one is the Orgo Saperavi. And then while I wait and see if Jenna is still watching, or if she knows, Georgian wine's pretty right. Yeah, you're watching. Let me know, girl. Where was it going? Oh, Thomas, who actually sold me the Perlage Prosecco, he wanted me to tell you guys why it's called Canah. So it's a biblical reference to when the wedding, it's called the wedding in Canah, when Jesus turned water into wine. And that's for that reason, Thomas thinks that Jesus was probably gay, because he was at this wedding and he was like, there's no wine, miracle. That was our joke. All right. Sorry if I offended anybody. I do that all the time. All right. Let's see. You had it correct the first time. Ricazzatelli. That's what I thought. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. It means a lot to me, sincerely. For those of you guys who don't know Jenna, her Instagram handle is tell me something good. Something good. Underscores. Tell me something good. Underscores in between the words. She helped me study for my level 2 exam, and she's a certified badass. So follow her because she does dope shit too. So I think that's all I have for you guys. I hope that you guys love the wines, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the pairings. Pick up the Georgian wines. They're fun. They're unique, and I will post another dish to kind of complement both of them. I'll do my best, I should say. And what else do I have for you? I talked about reaching out to me. I talked about the next wine talk with Tesh. Oh, I wanted to say this. Last thing, I promise, okay? Champagne Gosset. I sent out an email for those of you guys who signed up for my email list. There's a one-off release champagne made by Champagne Gosset, one of the oldest champagne houses in France. They are originally a still wine producer. They made this really limited champagne that's been aged for 9 years on the lease, right? The dead yeast cells inside of the bottle. It's 100% Pinot Noir. I was originally offered 1 6-pack, and I was able to acquire 2. And so I'm going to end up having a few extra bottles left over from the people who have already committed. So I've sold, so that's 12 bottles. I think I've sold 8 of them. So I'll have 4. If you guys are interested in that champagne, it is not inexpensive. It is quite a treat. So if you guys are interested, shoot me a message and I'd be happy to let you know how much it is, and I'll get you on the wait list. They should be landing on the 20th. And hopefully if they get here tomorrow, then they get here tomorrow, but I'll hope to have them out to people early next week. All right. Until I see you guys on December 2nd, much love. Thank you for all of the support. Thanks for liking my goofy ass reels. By the way, okay, now this is the last final. I didn't realize how big my motherfucking ass was until I made that reel with the Diwali one. Cause like I saw somebody do that spin and I was like, oh, that's cool, you know? That's cool. Like it would be interesting to do one where I do the spin and then I'm in an Indian outfit. And then after I recorded it and I posted it, I was like, man, my big ass takes forever to spin. And I got a big ass back. So it's like, it didn't really have the magical effect that I was hoping for, but you guys still loved it and you guys are awesome. And I appreciate the love and support. So until next time, guys, thanks a lot. Take care. Drink well. All right. Be good.
Bye, everyone.